My question to every company when we start working with them is, are you analyzing your sales data in a way that actually allows you to sell more, sell better, become more efficient? Because a lot of times they might be capturing the right data, a lot of times they might be capturing the wrong data. But even if they're capturing the right data, if you're interpreting it incorrectly, if you're not analyzing it properly, you're still going to make wrong decisions. So number one is you have to actually have the right data coming in. Number two, you have to analyze that data properly. And then number three, you have to actually turn that into actionable actions that actually help you out. So we have teams of all sizes that come to us to help them with their sales processes, analyzing their sales data, really figuring out where problems and opportunities are. And your ability to analyze the right sales data and then create actionable actions that produce results is critical. And your company actually has a lot of valuable information that will help you sell better. If you're tracking the right numbers, you can actually constantly tweak and get a better result. And I'm gonna show you in this video how to analyze the data that you already have in your company, as well as data that you might need to collect if you're not already collecting it, so that you can sell more. Now, so many people, they get nerded out over all the numbers and the analytics and all these things, but if it doesn't help you sell more, if it doesn't help your sales team, if it doesn't help your marketing team, then it's kind of worthless. So highly focused on when I'm working with companies, whether it's a company with 500 sales reps or it's a company with 5 sales reps, I'm always focused on what are the data points that we need to analyze them properly to create actionables that get results. So the right data points interpreted the right way can produce the right actions that get results. Having analyzed over 1,000 sales calls in our agency and others, and looking at companies that have varying amounts of sales reps and products and sales funnel and all that, I can really break this down into five critical points. And I'm gonna go through that in this video so that you can analyze your data in a way that helps you sell more. Before I do that, make sure to subscribe and click that bell button so every time I drop a new video, you're the first to know, because I wanna literally help you sell more and scale more. That is my mission, is to help the entrepreneurs be successful, and it's gonna take good sales to actually do that, as well as a bonus training I wanna give you at the end to help you do what? Sell more and scale more. So make sure to stay till the end. So what are those 5 kind of keys that I would use to make sure you're analyzing your sales data properly in a way that allows you to remember the right data and the right interpretation, which is analyzing, creates the right actions, which produces results. And that's what we're here for. Too many people nerd out over the numbers and the likes and the thumbs up and the shares and the comments and subscribe. All these numbers that are not producing revenue. We want to produce results. So how do you analyze your data to do that properly? Well, number one, you need to segment the data from your sales team into activity versus result data. So activity is going to be number of calls made, number of proposals sent, all of these things, the activities that are happening, and that can be in any area of your company. You need to separate those from the results. How many meetings were actually set? How many deals were actually closed? How much revenue was brought in? All of those. So what you want to separate is the activities from the results, because guess what? If you see that activities are low and results are low, activities are high, results get high, you can start creating, understanding what are the patterns happening on the activity side that produce results versus what are the activities that even when those activities are high, aren't getting results. Because a lot of times people are gonna go with their gut. They're gonna go, hey, I think, feels like when I put a quarter in the soda machine and I leave it there, it's like good karma for the day and I close more deals. That's just like a feeling, a gut thing. And most of us go off of like weird feeling gut things, even if it's not as ridiculous as a quarter in the soda machine, which I've heard of reps doing before. Like one rep who's like, every time I drop a quarter in the soda machine, it's like good karma for me and I close more deals. If I ever forget to do that, I just don't close more deals. It's like, it might not be that ridiculous, but we do go with our gut on a lot of stuff. So we wanna correlate what are the proper activity KPIs with the result KPIs so we can do more of the good activities and less of the activities that aren't really producing much. Number 2, think of this data in the point of a customer journey, from when you're doing maybe outreach on LinkedIn or cold calling, or you're running an ad in Google. What are all the data points from beginning to when they get that first meeting set, to the show rates number, to the how many calls is it taking to close, to the close rates, to the follow-up, how long are you following up? All those data points, lay it out from the perspective of a story, from your customer's perspective, that customer journey from very beginning to end. So if you lay out those data points properly, you're gonna be able to analyze them so that, remember, the right data with the right interpretation creates the right actions, which will, what? Produce the right results. Number 3, and I see people make a mistake on this all of the time, and it is, you have to have the right amount of data to make the right decisions. Remember, when you're analyzing the data, you have to actually have enough. Look, if you had 3 people do a sales call with you this week, and one of them bought and 2 of them didn't, you don't really know why. You don't really know, well, number 1, the one that closed, he was in X industry, and the other 2 were in Y and Z industry, so let's focus only on X. There's a million reasons why that could have sold or closed or not closed. And if you're only basing your decision off of like 3 things, or that's ridiculous. It's obviously, people make decisions on small things, which would be like maybe 30 or 40 sales calls. That's still, you want to have enough data. Now just imagine, some websites, they have thousands of visitors a month, some hundreds of thousands, some millions of visitors every month. And what would you think would produce a better result? Making a decision based off of 1 million visitors to your website a month, their patterns, or making a decision based off of 100 visitors? It's the same concept. It's the same concept. Yet in sales positions, a lot of times we make decisions based off of, I had 10 calls set up this week, and it felt like none of them showed up. But if you actually analyze the data, maybe 20 of them didn't show up. And then I had 8 calls, and oh, you know what? I had 2 close, and they were like in this industry, and this one was in this industry. Let's only target those industries. That's just not enough data. So it's weird that you would, from a website perspective, a lot of times people, they're gonna get lots of data before they make a decision. But in sales roles, a lot of times people make more of a gut feeling decision. And let me ask you, when have you ever made good decisions based off of emotion? When have you been in an emotional state, angry, upset, frustrated, whatever, and made a good decision? It's very, very rare. And I would say for me, I never make good decisions in an emotional state. So we want to make sure that we have enough data removed from the emotion of the week or the day or the month before we make a decision. And I see companies make a mistake on this all the time. Even making big decisions based off of 1 week of data sometimes isn't enough. So make sure you have enough data before you make any big decisions. Number 4, now that you do have enough data, remember we talked about you want to lay out your KPIs and your numbers in that customer journey. Now you have enough data filling in that journey. You're going to start seeing what? You're going to start seeing bottlenecks. You're going to start seeing, well, hey, actually we only have about a 55 show rate. That's not good. If we could increase that show rate, the sales calls that actually show up by 10%, the output number would be significant, right? Oh, and if we increase our overall close rate by even 2% and the show up rate, that's gonna make our outcome be 20% increase in revenue. So when you start looking at where the bottlenecks are in the sales funnel, as you start taking the right actions to increase the positive movement of that number, the outcome can actually be really, really exponential, where it might only be 2% here, 3% here. The outcome might be at 20%. So you want to make sure that you're laying out that customer journey and you're identifying bottlenecks once you have enough data, of course. Number 5, as you're identifying these bottlenecks, you want to make sure you're taking the right actions, and you don't want to do too many tests at once. Just do a limited amount of tests so that you can know what thing you shifted in your show up rates and your close rates and any of the processes in that bottleneck. When you test things in each step, make sure you're only doing like 2 tests at a time max, so that you can really get enough data to know if that little tweak you made a significant difference. If you change too many variables in that kind of test, you're not going to know what variable actually made the difference. So only add 1 or 2 variables so you can know if it made a positive or a negative impact. Because what is often detrimental to your company is if it went up or down, but it's that it actually increased. You got better results, but you don't know why, so you can't keep repeating it. The whole process is about knowing the numbers, analyzing it properly, making the right adjustments so you get great results, and you can repeat that process over and over again. And after you've gone through these 5 steps, what do? You rinse and repeat. You test new things. Okay, it gave us a positive result. Let's run it. Okay, where's the bottleneck? Identify the next bottleneck, test a few things, whatever gets the good outcome, we go with, and you just keep repeating that over and over and over again. And guess what? Now you have a sales funnel that is going to keep improving, because this isn't a one-time thing. This is part of the company. We are constantly looking at this, constantly adapting it. And the ultimate goal is that your sales keep doing this and this and this. You don't have to have a business that goes up and down and up and down and up and down. So there it is. That's how you do it. It is very, very effective. Now, if you want to see how to get more sales meetings for your sales team so that they can sell more and scale more, I do have that bonus training for you at the end. You're going to be able to click a link. Before I do that, if you got value from this video, and only if you got value from this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Look, if you didn't get any value from it, you don't owe me anything. But if you did get value from this, the only thing I ask is that you like, comment, and subscribe. It does help us show up more, as well as if you have any questions, go to the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them there. And if you stay to the end for that free resource because you want to fill up your sales team's calendar with great meetings and warm those up automatically, click that link down below. It's free. I don't make 1 penny from it. The only thing that I ask you is when you do start selling more and scaling more, that you send me a testimony. Again, this is Tim Dodd with the Tim Dodd Show, and I will see you soon.